about to enter the Mickey Mouse Club, but I think they're doing something inside.
I agree with that. The adversities are very, very important because they will build you. Adversity will prepare you for greater challenges ahead, as well as the adversities will give you the ability and the authority to inspire someone else who has a tough time. The greatest advice I received was that most people quit right before it's time to win. But they don't know it because it gets really, really hard. And then when it gets hard, they want to give up, they want to stop, they want to let their seeds of self-doubt come into their spirit. And then they give up on their idea. You know, when you hit a wall, you think a little, but you get adamant about what you want to create. There's always a way. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with the right people who are empowered. And if you don't find those people, well, just tie a knot and hold on. Just hold on, because they're coming. The laws of attraction are very, very real. And the energy that you put out with intention will be what you receive back at the right time. It's like planting a seed in the ground. Keep watering the seed, water the dirt. It's got to sprout.
Let me just add, if I build a board of directors for a larger company, I want adversaries in the board. I need the counter opinion, because if you're always surrounded by naysayers, then you also don't know where your roadblocks are until life gives you the roadblocks, and then maybe too late.
Yeah, I agree with that totally, Axel. And I'll tell you, before you even get there, when you're starting off for the very first time, you don't have that board right now. You have a vision, and only you can see that vision. So you are the board. The naysayer that you have to battle against is your inner thinking, the realities of what's not possible, the self-doubt, the inner conversations that make you doubt your vision. There's always a way. Study today. It's really simple to find the things that empower you because we have Google.
So this is going to be like an auction, so you're going to see some pretty awesome stuff that you and me probably are never going to be able to afford ever in our entire lives.
Nope.
Even though I wish I could, but so you would have to sign up for it, and then you put your bid in. Auction ends at 4 p.m. on Friday, and then auction. So it's like a silent auction. You go online, you bid yourself, and then like that Friends episode that you liked, the more he bought a boat.
Yes.
Oh my God, I don't like you no more. So let's go. Let's just take a look and see what's in here. I guess right. Oh, see, snow globes right there, boom.
Oh my God. That's a nice one. This one, I like this one.
Just don't touch, yeah. I know. Just
Making gained a lot of weight, I guess. This is what happens when you're sharp. You gain a lot of weight. We'll always
what
be
are these? Little Mermaid Broadway boots. Wow.
We'll be always best friends, right, Dad?
And they're still in mint condition. Look at that.
We'll always be together, right, Dad?
These are all still in mint condition. Do you see this?
It's a nice little mermaid one, too. Is that Pinocchio?
Where?
Right there.
Where?
Look at that.
That is Pinocchio. Pinocchio.
I don't know what that is. You know, it's Pocahontas. Who's that?
Megan.
What? It's official.
Yes. Anastasia. It's one of my favorite. Now it's a Disney movie.
No.
Disney owns it.
No.
That's Kovu.
Oh, it is?
That's Kovu and
Oh,
Kiara.
I got scared. I thought that was freaking Lion Guard.
No, it's Kovu and Kiara.
Good job on your head. You really put Captain Hook in a...
Construction metal. I guess it's like it's a metal wall art for construction wall. So we could put, if we were to buy this, we could put it in Haley's room.
You put Captain Hook. You put Captain Hook in a snow globe. That's a good way to capture him and put him in jail. That's a jail for Disney.
Look, an original Hollywood Terror sign. Pins. These are one of a kind pin. Which one is this one?
That's a nice one.
Disneyland Paris 20th.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, you can clearly hear the construction work going on at the top of the building. Hatbox Ghost.
See, that's how Haley's gonna go to her prom. She's gonna go in style. She's gonna go fair. She's gonna have a carriage. She's gonna be on.
So they got limited edition pins.
Look what they got too.
Where? It's the One Man's Dream poster from the actual One Man. and it's framed. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here for auction. Probably not gonna get everything, but we're gonna keep on looking.
That's a weird one.
This is where you meet all the wonderful. Oh, there she is. There's Kat from the Haunted Mansion. Tony Baxter. Yeah, she's the voice of Jessie. We are. Tomorrow. We're meeting her tomorrow.
I gotta wear my Buzz Lightyear shirt tomorrow. I know I was gonna wear a blue match, but I gotta wear my.
We're the Drinking Around the World with Miss Nesbitt. It's still.
I know, that's what I'm getting. That's what I want. She did the girl from Dex's Laboratory too. The sister.
She did Dee Dee.
Whatever.
There's Andy right there.
We don't have him, do we?
I think we have him tomorrow. Jody. What was it?
I knew that was you.
I knew that was Andrew.
No, you did not. I knew that was him.
Love all this stuff. Oh yeah, you remember she also played Barbie. So Jody and Kat know each other very well from Toy Story 3.
No, that was a prisoner thing. Yeah.
John Moore, Jim Doyle, and Sparkly Nicole.
Thanks for being here, everybody. And thanks for supporting Give Kids the World. Give yourselves a round of applause.
The world. And before we get started today, we wanted to talk to you about a couple of the awesome things coming up that we personally love. Like Night of Million Lights. Has anyone been to Night of Million Lights? Last year was the first year. Last year was fantastic. The whole village was decorated with lights. It was beautiful. But this year, I know a couple of things. Can't share anything yet, but it's going to be fantastic. I heard there might be a little bit of dancing. It's going to be fabulous. So if you're local, I hope you can make it. And if you're not, it's worth taking the trip.
It'll be definitely magical in a different way than it was last year, but still fantastic. Like, absolutely amazing. And there's also the Gingerbread Run, and that's in November. Is that right?
In November, and it's Gingerbread Run, but you can definitely walk. And where is it, Jim?
That is also in and around Give Kids the World Village. It's one of the really two ways that you can visit the village if you're not a family or an alumni family of Give Kids the World.
Yeah, so it's a great way to make your first visit out there. Come see it, see what the families get to experience, all these amazing venues. The architecture is just so incredible, and you will absolutely just feel the magic when you get there. So I hope you get to visit the village yourself if you haven't already.
All right, well, it's time to introduce our first voice of animated features. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for John Morris.
Give Kids the World. We appreciate it so much. I'm wondering if this is your first time working with Give Kids the World. Have you been to the village, either of you? I'm curious.
I have been to the village multiple times, so I've been supporting and interacting with Give Kids the World for several years now, and it's been an honor to be a part of this. Truly an honor. And for this inaugural event, I just want to be here every year from now on.
I have not been to Give village yet, and I can't wait to go. I've heard amazing stories and just, you know, kind of incredible things about the village and all the amazing work that you do. So I can't wait to visit.
Oh, awesome. We love to go there, so.
We know, I remember that you hosted for a panel, was for the Toy Story actors.
Yeah, we had a Toy Story reunion, and proceeds went to Give Kids the World.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually the first reunion of its kind, and it was on Zoom, and it was very surreal and awesome.
It was very entertaining. We went. Did any of you go and see that online? It was great. Fantastic.
So, let's start at the beginning. I'm sure one of the most frequently asked questions that you have is, how did you get the role? How did you audition and that process? And so we'll start with Linda.
Okay, that is one of the most frequently asked questions. And it is really interesting actually. At the time, it was just one of many auditions I had that week. It was a time when I was living in Los Angeles. My agents would tell me where to be and what time, and I had a book that I wrote things in because it was a long time ago. I didn't have a computer or a phone to keep track of my appointments. I kept track of them by hand, and I still have those books. I remember seeing one of the entries where I had an Aladdin callback, and I had spelled Aladdin wrong. I put it with 2 L's. I was like, oh, I didn't even know how to spell it at this point. And it ended up being such a huge part of my life. My first audition was kind of uneventful. I just went in, recorded a scene, and left. I had gone there with a friend. We carpooled. She had a fancy fax machine, so she had gotten the sides faxed to her the night before, so I read them in the car on the way to the audition. And I didn't hear anything for probably a month. And then every few weeks, after a month later, they said I had a callback. Every few weeks I would go back in, I'd have another callback, and the number of people in the waiting room was shrinking, and the number of people watching the audition was growing. The pressure was going
It's
up,
like
up.
entertainment version of Survivor.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, when you went to those first auditions, were those at the studio? Were those at like a recording facility? Those were
At the studio.
Wow.
In a little tiny room that was just big enough for a music stand and some pretty simple equipment and the casting director and me. And then as it went on and more people were showing up for my audition, then they moved us to an actual recording studio where there were a bunch of people sitting there. Yeah.
At what point did you see any of the first art of Jasmine, of the character?
During the process, I started to get a glimpse of the storyboards. I don't remember if I saw the statue, like the white
The
statue.
maquette.
What is it called?
The maquette?
Yeah, I don't think I saw that until after I got the job, but I definitely saw some storyboards as I was auditioning, more and more. And that was pretty cool. That was really, even if I didn't get the job, I was like, I saw some of this movie that they're making. It's really, really inside stuff.
And John, how about you getting the role?
So fabulous to hear all those insights on that. I love that. So we have to go back to 1991, and I was 7 years old, and now I'm 36. And it was an open call for kids in the Bay Area. I think they were, kind of auditioning kids in LA too. And they needed Andy, for the first feature-length animated film created with computers at Pixar. And, Pixar staff at that time, there were maybe 20 or 30 on staff, and now there are like 2,000 or 3,000, to give you a sense of the growth of Pixar. But they just said to the first audition, bring your favorite toy, bring your favorite toy to the audition. And I brought all my X-Men figures. Because to me, that's a toy.
That's a very
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think fans will understand, like, that's a toy. You know, you need to bring, you can't just bring Professor X, you need, like, all of them. And so my mom was like, this is not what they said. They said bring one toy. I was like, it is one toy, I'll explain. And then they got it. The creative team got it.
That's probably what helped you get the role, was like, no, but really.
They did like that I kind of was like, no, I have to bring all of them. And then, similar to Andy, you know, they just said, okay, we're just gonna record you playing with your toy. That's it. And so I like dumped all the figures out on the ground and I started creating the voices, and you know, I got really into it, and later they told me, you know, that was Andy. And we just kind of saw Andy come to life in front of us, you know, with all those voices and kind of characterizations and such.
Wow.
And similar to Linda, like, you know, there were 20, 10, 5, 3, 2, and then me in terms of the, you know, callbacks. Because with the callbacks, we then read from the script and they started to hear, you know, Andy's potential voice and such.
And being that age, did you feel like how special it was?
You know, I did, in that it was just such a unique kind of project, but I was so little that, and you know, I didn't realize the scale of what it would become. Because it's the first feature length animated film created with computers, it's kind of like experimental. And then like you see it on a bus and you're like, oh, okay, it's actually gonna be kind of big, I think, you know. But yeah, at first I didn't have any idea. My family didn't have any idea. I just thought it was a really cool audition and it was really fun.
Yeah, I love that. Have you gone to ride Slinky? I just need to know that.
Sorry,
Have you been to Toy Story Land to ride Slinky Dog Dash?
I have.
Now, was there like an entire cast, like table read at one point once you'd been cast and all of that? You know, was there that kind of thing for you, Linda?
For us, no, not in the animated feature. We recorded everything individually and we recorded everything with the people that we were in a scene with. So I did ultimately get to record with the other actors, but we never were all in the room together at once doing a read through of the whole script. Yeah.
But did you do that for the show?
So for the television show, a totally different setup. In the television show, we were all in the room for 4 hours every Tuesday afternoon for 2 years. And I did some of my recording in New York, but when I was in Los Angeles, it was Tuesday afternoons from 2 to 6, the whole cast all together, you know, 10 chairs, 10 music stands, and we did the script from start to finish.
Oh, wow, like straight through?
Straight through. They were maybe 30-page scripts.
Yeah.
But it was a fun experience. Everyone was working together and working off of each other, and the energy of doing it was almost like a play reading, you know, to do the story from the beginning to the end every week. It was a great experience actually doing the television series.
And was that a huge adjustment from what you having?
It was very different from filming, from the animated feature. It was just a completely different process. Yeah, same characters, different genie. We had Dan Castellaneta was the genie for the cartoon series.
Who is Homer Simpson, like just, most famous.
Yeah. And all of his castmates from The Simpsons were guest stars on the Aladdin cartoon series. So we had every voiceover giant guest starring on that show.
Wow.
In 2 years. It was really, really cool.
I love that. And John, can you talk to us about what it was like actually making the films and were you in Homer?
Yeah, so similar to Linda,
Is that me?
similar to Linda, we recorded individually for the most part. the time I really would see the other cast members were at the premieres. There was kind of a cool kind of situation in Toy Story 3 in that I was living in New York and Laurie Metcalf was doing a play on Broadway. And so I was recording there and they would book us back to back. And so we could have a nice Andy's mom, changing of the guard. Like I would have my session and then she would have hers and we would chat for a moment.
Oh,
And that was nice. And that actually kind of, because then sometimes she would be first and I would be second, and it actually kind of helped me, especially if I was recording a scene with Andy's mom, because I had just seen her and heard her voice. And so it actually sort of helped.
Like having that in person. I love that.
Yeah, and it's Laurie Metcalf, but it's also, it's her vocal quality and it's,
Yeah.
So it was, that was kind of, I loved when that happened, because, hi, kind of see each other for a minute. And, but then at the premieres, of course, watching the films come together and just being.
So did you first meet some of the other actors like at the premiere?
Yes, yeah, a question I get often is, have you met Tom Hanks? How many times have you met Tom Hanks? Have you met Tim Allen? How many times have you met Tim Allen? And I was lucky enough to meet them at the premieres, and just a kind of sweet moment of like, hi Andy, hi Woody, where it's just like kind of surreal, also, and they're very nice people and very good actors, of course, and kind of how you'd imagine, just really nice, warm people.
So
I think there's a fun story about Lee Unkrich trying to track you down for the third one.
Yes. So the films more or less were in real time, which is unique for films. And I was always a little bit older than Andy, but there was this huge gap between Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, and I was in college. And this is almost a lesson, especially for voiceover actors, but I was in class like all day, and so Lee called me, the casting director called me, and I think Lee was on too, and it went to voicemail. And so they just heard my voicemail, and they said, oh good, he can still play Andy. So I was tired. Yeah, so it's like my voicemail for my cell phone was my audition for Toy Story. So I'm glad it worked. But also they love, continuity, and they want to bring back the same voice actors whenever possible.
Yes. And you had some neat family connections to the films as well. Like you grew along with Andy and.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. So at the Toy Story 3 premiere, my mom was there, and then my siblings, and my younger sibling was off to college. So it was like this. It was just like right before she went to college, and then I played Andy, going to college, and then my mom was there, like bawling. I was like, oh my gosh, it was very emotional and also meaningful, of course.
I think there was something really meaningful for the fans too, like people about our age experiencing it versus a child getting to continue to enjoy that.
Grow up with the films,
Yeah.
grow up with the characters, exactly.
Yeah, I think that was a nice thing about that film for like all generations, because you could connect in some way to either the child or the parent, and as everybody got older, that was nice. What was the moment for both of you that it became real? That you were the voice of Jasmine, that you were the voice of Andy. What was the thing that kind of struck with you?
Well, for me, I didn't really believe I was going to be the permanent Jasmine until I saw the premiere at El Capitan Theater, and I was like, it is my voice. And even right up until the movie started, I thought it's possible someone made a mistake and invited me, and they didn't tell me that they had replaced it. I just, did, because it was a unique situation. I was the first actress to do a princess that didn't sing. It was the first time in history, and I thought, I've said this before, some of you may have heard it, I thought, they know I can't sing, but it's only a matter of time before they figure out that Lea Salonga can talk. I had to make it to the finish line, and I did, and that's when I really thought it was real.
When you were seeing it.
When I was seeing it at the premiere, I said they cannot take it back now. That's official. It's official.
Linda, I had a question for you about like that character, and in that moment in time, it was definitely like a girl power era.
Yes.
Did you feel that way, like while you were creating that role?
100%. I was so in sync with it because it is exactly how I was feeling at that age in my life. I was just, coming of age myself. I was living on my own for the first time. I was really active and socially aware, and it was just the first princess that I really felt was capturing that energy, and I connected to it 100%. From the minute I read the character, I knew what she was about, and it felt very relevant to that time and to my life.
I love that.
It's a great question, thank you.
And John, what's a moment for you that made it real, that you are Annie?
Yes, I would say the Toy Story premiere. I was 11 years old because it took me 4 years to record. It took 10 years to make Toy Story.
Wow.
And I was sitting in the theater and it went dark, and then Andy starts Toy Story. All right, everyone, this is a stick up. Don't anybody move. That little thing. That part. And it doesn't sound quite the same because I was, little. But that starts it, and I kind of turned to my parents. I was like, "Is that me?" And they're like, "Yes, that's you." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" And I was kind of like excited and nervous and embarrassed and happy and all these emotions that you feel as an 11-year-old. Watching that for the first time. Yeah.
Oh, that self-consciousness is funny. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
a child, I can imagine.
Well, and also I don't think they told me, we had recorded it all, but they can make lots of changes in the editing room. And so I just didn't know that it starts and, oh my gosh, Andy's playing with his toys, and I voiced Andy. Yeah.
I also, if you want to get your phone ready, just in case to record things, I personally wanted to ask this. Are there lines that stand out as very memorable, or that people continue to ask you to say, and would you say?
Well, for me, one that I have fun saying, and you'll remember the scene, I believe this was one of my early audition scenes, where I get to say, "Oh, Father, Raja was just playing with him, weren't you, Raja? You were just playing with that overdressed, self-absorbed Prince Ahmed, weren't you?"
That's fabulous. I think the end of Toy Story 3 is probably my favorite scene that I recorded, and kind of that little monologue about Woody. And you can see my shoes, they're Woody shoes. But not picking favorites, but they're all on my shirt too. But so just the line, now Woody, he's been my pal for as long as I can remember. He's brave like a cowboy should be, and kind and smart.
I'm emotional.
Which actually, just on that, and I hear that from a lot of people too, that they just bawled at the end of Toy Story 3, as did I. But in the recording studio with Lee Unkrich and the producer, what kind of got me there is he said, imagine saying goodbye to the thing you care most about in life. And so it's just yeah, it's just like, imagine saying goodbye to the thing you care most about in life. And then just that whole, we had like 2.5 hours to just kind of record that final scene, and so it got to very emotional places, and he was just like, this is a goodbye, you know, and all that entails. And so they say like tears in the writer, tears in the reader, because I think I felt emotional, perhaps that translated out.
Definitely.
Didn't expect to cry. And we will have a Q&A at the end, so if you have questions you want to ask, be thinking about it. I was curious for either of you, was there something that you saw the character on that, you know, maybe like some merchandise or some art on something that made you just have a moment like, wow, this is so.
I had one yesterday. I was at the airport in New York, coming down here, and checking in ahead of me was a 3-year-old girl wearing a Princess Jasmine mask. Right here on my same flight. And I said, are you going to Disney World? And she looked at me, she was like, yes. And her dad said, who are you going to see? And she said, Jasmine.
Oh.
And I was
You're like, that's right.
like,
You have no idea.
the magic had already begun. She hadn't even left New York yet, and she was talking to Jasmine. I talked to her for a few minutes, and I talked to her brother. He wanted to see animals.
Did you tell her?
I did not.
Someday she'll find this on the
Yeah,
internet.
she'll see this video. So that's that. I think that leads to a question I have. Like, there's that element of preserving the magic that, as cast members, we are, you know, that it is ingrained. So, how do you negotiate that in that instance? You know.
You know, I think I go with my gut. If I think it will add to someone's moment, I will share it. If I think it will be confusing or all about me, then I will not. So it really just is what I'm feeling in that moment and the information I'm getting about the situation in that moment. And I've had many occasions where I have shared for a good reason, and it's always been wonderful to share it, but I have to really feel it. And when I do, I trust that, and I share it, and it's worked out so far.
John, I still wanted to know if you had something with your character Andy, like a moment of something.
Yes, I would say fan art. My gosh, I wish I had like examples, but I'll try to describe maybe a few. But just to see the creativity of how fans interpret Andy and my connection with Andy, and one comes to mind. There's a local Bay Area artist, and in California, and he kind of takes kind of classic like Disney films and Pixar and just gives it like a very modern look. So it feels like it's right now in terms of his interpretation. And so there's one for Toy Story 3, and it's like a profile of Andy's head, and then everything within the film is within his head. So it's like as if it's just all in his imagination, or it's a dream, and so it's just a very interesting take on, you know, the story and Andy's connection to it. And I have that framed in my house. Just because I look at it, it's like, that is such an interesting perspective. And so creative, yeah. And he, you know, is maybe a storyboard artist now or something. But, you know, it's so cool to see that and to see those fresh interpretations and personal connections and interpretations.
And it makes so much sense for Andy, that particular piece of art, because he's making the play happen. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're almost like, was it all me? No. But okay. Like, interesting. Yeah.
I think it's time for the Q&A portion of our proceedings. So if you have a question, come on up to the microphone. Please, remember to be socially distant as other people, you know, are up on the microphone. So introduce yourself and state your question.
Hello, my name is Michelle. Hello, John.
This is actually after Jasmine, and it actually says a whole new world.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
I proposed to her that in front of the castle with the ring based off of you.
And she said yes.
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 Oh, wonderful.
It only took me 8 years.
Oh, all right. Well, you got there.
So I just because I couldn't answer the question during the Q&A. If you had 3 wishes, what would it be?
Oh my goodness, watch your back.
I will definitely ask at your table.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm gonna dip back behind the plexi, even though I know we had our face-to-face in the photo.
Yes.
Exactly.
Don't want to expose you for too long.
So let me ask you something. So have you ever tried rubbing the lamp and tried wishing the genie could come out?
Oh my goodness, I haven't. Have you?
I've actually tried once.
When
Nothing. When we were kids, I tried so hard.
Yes, sir.
So 3 wishes. What would Jasmine do if the tables were turned?
What would her wishes be?
Yeah.
Oh, well, definitely something about living truthfully and living for love. So she would wish for that for everyone. I think she would wish for equality. And I think that she would wish for, what would be the third? Freedom.
That's a great
I like that one.
I like that one.
There was one more you wanted to ask about, Ron.
Also, have you ever asked your dad or your mom to ever get a pet tiger?
Oh my gosh, I would love to have a pet tiger.
I was thinking, like, ever since you did when you were playing Jasmine, if you ever wanted to just get a pet tiger named Raja.
You know, tigers
like a
are meant to
cat
be
that looks
free,
like it.
so I, in real life, would never. Also, you know, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yes.
But I think it'd be fun to get a little kitten and name it Raja.
Actually,
That
I
would be
had
fun.
somebody I knew that actually had a cat who actually had like the orange and like the black spots.
Oh, yeah.
And she named him Raja.
That would be so cute.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You are her favorite princess. You are actually my second. Jody's my first.
Actually, right here.
Jody's my first. You're my second, and then
That's
Mandy
why
Moore
we
is my third.
That's why we purposely
Rapunzel.
That's why we purposely put me next to you and him next to
Oh,
Jody.
that's so great. Oh, thank you.
So
You're very
thank you.
welcome. Thank you so much.
All the best to you both.
Bye bye.
All right, we are gonna go 0, 5, 2, 7, 4, 0, 1, 5. 1, 5. 5 is the last digit called out. Who is still with me? Whoa. Anybody?
Not here, next.
I'll repeat the number one more time. All right, listen closely. If we do not have the person present, we will have to redraw. Have to be present to win. Is that fair? Do we all agree to that?
Yes.
All right, 0, 5, 2, 7, 4, 0, 1, 5. Going once, going twice. It's over. All right, we are going for another.
It cracks me up because like you asked all the people that are present.
All right, are we ready? All right, 0, 5, 2, 7, 4, 1, 1, 5.
It's a redraw.
It's still up there. It's 2 after you.
I need 0-1.
All right.
Not 0-5.
Here we go. I feel it.
This is it.
This is gonna be the one.
We'll have you up by 10, folks.
You guys did want to be with us for the rest of the evening, right? 0, 5, 2, 7, 4, 0, 1, 9. What? Oh no! Wait, I gotta do it again. I gotta call it. Let me call it again before we go.
You sure that wasn't from the last reunion bucket?
I was like
0, 5, 2, 7, 4, 0, 1, 9. All right, going once.
Say 7, 9? You sure?
Going twice. All right, it's over.
we gotta get some blue ones out here. We keep on getting all the yellow ones.
All right, here we go. This is new selection. Basically, we're just gonna keep drawing until somebody buys a house from Drake today.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're
So Lake Nona is a really great area.
Now why not like Kissimmee?
0, 1, 0, 4, 6, 0, 0, 1. Whoa, somebody! Oh, close.
I had 0-1-2.
0, 1, 0, 4, 6, 0, 0, 1. Going once, twice. All right.
We were so close.
Let's be present to win. I think that rule still holds.
But Davenport has a really promising area.
9th time is the charm.
Do we have blue?
Oh, I gotta wear my saddlebag. All right, we already know they're not here. All right, so we're not gonna waste our time. All right, here we go. You want to check this one?
Nope, I don't have
All right. We could have a winner here, folks. That, or are you gonna buy home from Drake? 0, 1, 0, 4, 6, 0, 1, 1.
No!
The prize is a business card.
Well, guys, as you obviously saw, we had 12 and 13 as the last two numbers, and we ended up missing it by 1. Well, Megan was 2, I was 1. I missed it by 1. We are heading back to our car. We're going to go actually see Shang-Chi at the theaters.
What did you call it?
Shang-Chi?
What in God's name is that?
Shang-Chi.
That's how you say it. What you said before that?
I said sun. It's Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. And don't make fun of my speech impediment. But we had a good day. We saw Jodie Benson. We met Linda Larkin. We got a cool behind the scenes of Andy. That was pretty cool. Did not know any of that stuff. We get to meet him tomorrow. We also are meeting Pat Sajak tomorrow. And Constance Hatchaway, the voice of Constance Hatchaway, also the voice of Jessie in the parks, also the voice of Dee Dee from Dexter's Laboratory, and many others. So tomorrow's another day. It's going to be another short day for us because we could stay for the Little Mermaid thing with Jodie Benson, but I'm pretty good on the Little Mermaid thing. I know a little bit about it. So I don't need it. Megan doesn't need it, apparently. So she's hungry. We gotta feed the babies. Baby. I don't know why I said babies. Anyway, we gotta feed them. See, now look what you made me do. You're making me... See, these are bloopers, people. You're making me think I have 2 kids, but I don't have 2 kids. I only got 1 on the way. Some people recognize me from the show here. That was cool. But yeah, I think that's everything we're meeting tomorrow. And then we're also seeing the Haunted Mansion, basically haunted story tales that they're going to tell about the ride itself. Yeah. So tomorrow's going to be a pretty small day compared to this like over hour long thing. So far, me and Megan are still ahead in we had 5 auctions. We are ahead by 4 on 4 of them. We lost 1, which we're okay with because we had 2 Winnie the Pooh ones just in case. One was an 80th anniversary one, and then the other one is the one that we really, really want, like badly. And we're still ahead in that one. So we're really cool. We're all great with that. Everything here goes to charity. So that's something we like. Everything. Literally everything you bought today goes to the Give Kids the World charity. And again, down in the link below in the description, I will put the link for Give Kids the World donation website. I'll also put the text number for the donation. I will also put my link for my shirt for the Disney's Mickey Sorcerer Make-A-Wish shirt. Anyone who buys that shirt, it will go to Make-A-Wish, Give Kids the World, which works with Make-A-Wish. But for many of you who don't realize, yes, it is with Make-A-Wish, but they're 2 separate entities. You don't understand what goes into allowing these kids to stay here. Make-A-Wish gives them the push to come down here and do their wish at Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and all that stuff. It still takes money to help them, provide them with the housing that Give Kids the World does, and keeps them, going. So if you can donate, that would be great. If you would like to buy a shirt and donate that way, that would be even better. You have 3 options to donate. Please go and do it. That would be awesome. So we'll see you tomorrow morning.
TTFN, Tata for Jasmine is awesome.
Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Again, this is the site for the shirt that I am selling for Give Kids the World. Every shirt bought, all the proceeds for the shirt will go to Give Kids the World Village for those children who truly need it. Please, you can either donate directly to them, or you can definitely pick up a shirt. It's an awesome shirt. So yeah, I also have some other shirts coming out sometime soon, but I had the 50th shirts out, so go get yourself a nice 50th shirt. You're not going to be disappointed.